but the public can access this meeting while in progress by Zoom Video Communications Inc. Members of the public attending this meeting virtually will be allowed to make comments if they wish to do so during the portion of the hearing designated for public comment by telephone, cell phone, or personal computer using Zoom. As always, some guidelines for participants. Please utilize the chat or raise hand function to address the board. Participants will remain on mute until they have been addressed by the board, and participants are required to display their first and last names. That said, by tradition, we will start with a roll call of present members. I am Brian Barabee.
Sue Mitra.
Jim Garrity.
Lori Stevenson.
Excellent. All right. First up this evening, the Bolton Conservation Commission will now open the public hearing under Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Bolton Bylaw, Chapter 233, to discuss a notice of intent for 194 and 196 Annie Moore Road, DEP file number 112-0762. Lauren, is the applicant or a rep for the applicant here this evening?
Yes, Brandon Ducharme is here tonight.
Brandon, would you like to walk us through what is being proposed real quick?
Sure. Yep. Good evening. Brandon Ducharme with David E. Ross. Share my screen here.
Please.
All right. So we filed a notice of intent for work within 100 feet of a wetland. 194 and 196 Annie Moore Road are two existing houses located off the end of Annie Moore Road, where there's a turnaround at the end of the road there. And it's quite a long shared driveway that gets back to the house sites. And what we've filed the notice of intent for is we're looking to correct a drainage safety issue with the driveway. As you kind of look at the plan here, we're probably about halfway down the driveway. It's an existing gravel drive, and the drive, you come this way from Annie Moore, where it takes kind of a 90-degree turn to the right. There's a wetland off the north side here, and then on the opposite side of the driveway, there's a low area right here. And what happens is this low area collects runoff and it ponds, and there's actually a saddle in the existing driveway here. And when this floods, it actually encompasses the driveway. It goes underwater. And then this past winter, with all the rain and everything, it actually would freeze. It would pond and freeze and create an issue. So what the homeowners have asked us to do is to kind of correct that issue. They had a contractor out. The initial idea is really just from this low area to the wetland was to install a culvert. As we looked at it, what we came up with is just slightly modifying the grade of the driveway. Again, we're only picking it up probably about a half a foot. And what we're doing is we're actually creating a low point further away from that narrowest part where it's up against the wetland. And what that'll do is that'll drain this area now a little bit to the east, and then the culvert will go under the driveway. And at the terminus of the culvert, there'll be some riprap there, and then it'll sheet flow down to the wetland. And what that does is it just allows for a greater separation from where the water is released to where it intercepts the wetland. It actually improves the existing situation when it ponds now. Obviously, as vehicles go over the gravel driveway, the silty water just cascades kind of down into this wetland here. And what will happen now is this will actually function as like a pseudo infiltration area, or a forebay rather. So it kind of allows for some settling, then it'll carry under here and then go through the riprap, and then more of that polished water will go down to the wetland there. We were able to kind of work all these improvements around the existing trees. So in terms of, the amount of work required, it doesn't require the removal of any of the significant trees in the area. It's really just kind of dressing up the top coat of the driveway. Also, what we've done is we kind of just the goal here is to create a pitch, so it actually, instead of shooting off the driveway into the wetland, we're actually encouraging the water to flow towards this forebay and then go under through a 18-inch ADS culvert.
Okay. Is there? I was going to say, is there any existing culvert now? Is there anything that drains between them now, or is it basically just dammed on either side? And all right,
Yeah,
so it's nothing that lets it go through.
there's no culvert now, and so right now what happens is it just ponds and then overtops and kind of cascades down here. As you look at this, you can see where just over the years, this is an older driveway. Some of that sediment is kind of collected off the side of the driveway there.
Right. I looked at it, so we had DEP comments, and DEP had no issues with it as proposed. I'm not sure that I have any additional questions, but let me open it up to commission members. Any commission members have any initial thoughts, comments, or questions?
Just a quick question, Brennan. You're going into the initial pond, right, on the salt, I'll call it the salt side. And then you're going back in a culvert back north, right? Is there any way you could just go to the right? Is there a reason why you have to go back through a culvert across the driveway again?
So great question. So the way the topography is you're actually coming down a hill from this side and you're coming down a hill from this side. So this is the low point here. Like I said, this is kind of where the existing saddle is. So everything that kind of sheets flow off of this property and down the driveway just ends up in this low area. And it's fairly decent material. My guess is probably years ago, before it silted up, it probably collected and was able to drain, before coming over the driveway. But at this point, it's created a drainage issue.
Okay, thank you.
Other comments, questions, thoughts from commission members? Not seeing any. Any members of the public here tonight to comment on this particular hearing? Again, not seeing any. Brandon, I was trying to look so yeah, it's all basically within the resource buffer area. Because the one question I had was kind of stockpiling of materials. Anything getting taken out. It's probably not a situation where you're going to need a lot of fill. If anything, you're possibly removing more than anything. But so it was clean fill. But yeah, it was the one thing I didn't see. Was there anything on the stockpiling of materials, and is it practical? I mean, I guess we could say where practicable, but is it practical enough to basically make sure you're stockpiling outside the resource area when not in active construction?
Yeah, no, again, that's actually a good comment. So as you come down the driveway here, there's an area that we could use outside of the resource area where if there is any, whether when they grade it through, material to be removed, or there's going to be some, like I said, a small amount of material they're going to place through here to reshape and grade that. We can add an area for stockpile outside of the 100-foot buffer zone.
Okay. All right. Other comments, questions from commission members? People seem to get the general gist of what they're trying to do here. Does anybody want? Anybody prefer a site visit? Want to go out and take a look at the area, or do you think you can get a really good idea from what you're seeing here?
All set.
Okay. All right. So, and just for commission members, I'm not doing it yet, but in theory, I'm thinking about possibly closing and issuing with the added condition about stockpiling. Anything else anybody thinks needs to be added? People are relatively comfortable with it as it is proposed? Okay. In that case, I'm going to make a motion that we close the public hearing for 194 and 196 Annie Moore Road, DEP file number 112-0762. Do I hear a second for closing?
Second.
All those in favor, starting with Sue.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Lori.
Aye.
And Lauren, I'm an aye as well. Excuse me. All right. I'd like to make a motion that we issue an order of conditions for 194 and 196 Annie Moore Road, DEP file number 112-0762, as drafted and submitted at this evening's meeting, with the following additional condition: that the stockpiling of any materials needed for this project be done outside of the resource area to the extent practicable. Do I hear a second for issuing an order on those terms?
Second.
All those in favor, starting with Sue,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Lori,
I vote. I just want to, we are in a butter to the property, but we do not have any issues with this alteration.
that is excellent. Thank you for letting us know. And Lauren, I'm an aye as well. God, I didn't even
great.
realize that.
Thank
Laura.
you.
Makes sense, Laura. I didn't even think of that, but yeah. Okay. How are we on time?
All right, thank you very much.
All right, Brandon, have a good night.
You too.
All right, so next up, the Bolton Conservation Commission will now continue the public hearing under Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Bolton Bylaw, Chapter 233, to discuss the notice of intent for 220 Berlin Road, DEP file number 112-0761. Lauren, is the applicant or rep for the applicant here this evening?
Yeah, we have Doug Dillon here with us and Dave Razak.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Appreciate everything that you had submitted. Is it, Lauren, are you in a good place to pull up the map of the area?
Sure.
Or if nothing else, just the pool one. Looking at the actual map, I noticed you guys did minimize the area, new driveway area. You had cut that down a bit. Really appreciate that. Again, I think last time we had talked about the planting plan. I think everybody was comfortable with that. We had some questions about the grading on the back end of the pool, and I know you had submitted some. Yep, this shows the minimization of the driveway. Lauren, can you pull up the other pool photo, the one that had...
Oh, that's right. Sure. 1 minute. Can you see this?
I'm still seeing the regular map.
Okay, 1 minute. Okay, how is that?
There it is. Yep, just came
Okay.
up. Can you
Okay.
zoom in a little bit?
Sure.
All right. So, Doug, this seemed like more of a kind of a locus just on the pool. I know we had asked some questions about the grading. Was this to kind of
Yep.
show us how it grades out? And
Yes,
I
it
wasn't
is.
sure what I
So-
was looking at. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I know. So this is the landscape architect prepared this, and as I said before, we don't have an engineer or surveyor on the project any longer. So using the finished elevation of the house slab, as that is consistent, obviously, right? So we just have across the various points showing changes from baseline elevation in inches change, right? So like for example, using again, the slab as the locus point, right? Even from the farthest back corner, that'll be minus 15.5 inches, foot and a quarter, just showing, the actual grade changes.
Okay.
And so the elevation of the house is, I believe on the plans, the finished floor elevation is, we had that as 356.5. So, right, so even all the way to the back in the middle of the yard, it's not even a 1.5 foot change.
Okay. So you think the back end of that patio should be like about a foot and a half, but I'm just trying to think just to, usually what is it, like 3 feet over for 1 foot of elevation? Is it 3 feet basically that they come out? I'm trying to think how they maintain that grade as they put it in.
Sorry, can you just kind of clarify so I can answer your
Yeah,
question?
I'm sorry. Like, so you know, it looks like you basically lose about 1.5 feet of elevation, you know, coming to the back end of the pool patio area.
Yep.
So I'm assuming that's, you know, it's a patio. It's going to be brought up to grade. It's
Yep.
going to be flat, and that they would then terrace out from there. Or you basically have to kind of fill out from the back of that area to make sure it stays stable, right?
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
raise
yeah.
up, and I think in the past it was about 3 feet. You'd come out 3 feet for every 1 foot of elevation. I think in order to grade those, I'm trying to think what the ratio was.
I think if we're thinking about the same things, remembering correctly, it's a very gentle
Right,
slope,
right.
all in all. Yes.
All right. Because again, my basic, well, one of my basic, not so much concerns, but thoughts around that is looking at the original limit of work where it was set. Was that actually going to be sufficient? Were you actually going to need to tail out past that?
Yeah,
Uh,
not
But it
real.
looks like it, I mean, it might tow right up to it, and I know it gets greened after that,
Yeah.
after the fact. So it looks like it would be tight, but I can see how it would fit or would work.
Yeah. No, there's a good amount of room.
Okay. I think that was, and I was curious to see the grading laid out, and this does lay it out a little bit better for me. Not
Yeah.
exactly what I was looking for, but I can picture what I needed to picture a little bit better. Saw that you made the changes to the driveway. We talked about deed restriction before and ongoing invasive. So I don't think I have any additional questions right now, but let me open it up. Commission members have any additional comments, questions, or thoughts regarding this, regarding 220 Berlin?
Just a quick question on the driveway. I guess I got a little bit confused. Can you walk me through the driveway, Doug?
Yep.
The change to the driveway? Sorry.
Yeah, hang on. Let me pop this open. I can share my screen. All right, can you guys see that all right?
Yes. Now I can.
Perfect. All right, so this is the original proposed that we were working with, right? And, you know, there was kind of this lip right here that bumped out. And based on the feedback from the last meeting, we kind of cut that off, ran it, you know, a bit tighter. I submitted a document. I just had them side by side. Right there, the original. There's the now proposed, and so you know that equates out to be, it was like 327 square feet less in the riverfront. That's also, I laid this out further in the document here. And yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Other questions, comments from commission members? Seeing any members of the general public here tonight to comment on this particular hearing? I'm not seeing any. So for commission members, seems like people are pretty comfortable with it as currently proposed. Again, we would add in those conditions of the deed restriction and the ongoing invasive species management. Anything else I'm forgetting? Anything anybody wanted to see added, or any additional questions still? Okay. In that case, I'm going to make a motion that we close the public hearing for 220 Berlin Road, DEP file number 112-0761. Do I hear a second for closing?
Second.
All those in favor, starting with Sue,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Lori,
Aye.
and Lauren, I'm an aye as well. All right. See if I can actually read this or write it down right. I'm going to make a motion that we issue an order of conditions for 220 Berlin Road, DEP file number 112-0761, as drafted and submitted at this evening's meeting, with the following added conditions. That a deed restriction limiting future alterations to a maximum of 10% of riverfront area on the 220 Berlin Road Lot 4 property shall be recorded with the Worcester Registry of Deeds with the language submitted by the applicant and approved by the commission prior to the issuance of a certificate of compliance. And that that we add an ongoing condition of invasive species management in the jurisdictional areas outside of the fenced pool area. Do I hear a second for issuing such orders?
Second.
All those in favor, starting with Sue.
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Lori,
Aye.
and Lauren, I'm an aye as well.
Great, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Doug, take care. Thank you.
Thank you all.
All right. Next up this evening, we had a discussion of a request to authorize the Bolton Girl Scout Troop 64881 to spend one night camping on the Taggart land in September of 2025. Lauren, is the rep or an app is the applicant or a representative for the applicant here tonight? Do you know offhand?
I
I'm
am.
not sure. Oh, okay.
I am.
great.
I just I can't change the name on my phone. That's why it says my kid's name. Sorry about that.
It's perfect. Could you just state your name?
Yes, I am Monique LeBlanc at 15 Laurel Road.
Thank you, Monique. Do you want to quickly walk us through what you're proposing?
Yes. My troop, we are 7th, 8th, and freshman Girl Scouts in Bolton. There are 7 of them. They have been working towards their primitive and trailblazing badges, primitive camping and trailblazing. They have done all the requirements besides hiking in more than a mile or more into a primitive spot where they have to bring their own water and camp in small tents or whatever they can makeshift, like a tarp or whatever else. And we're asking for one night on a Saturday. The September 13th would be our ideal date, but then we would ask for 2 rain dates if need be, because we actually don't have tents and we will be just using individual portable bug nets and tarps to sleep in, just because we're trying to save our funds for other adventures. We won't be cooking any food because we've already done that part of the requirement. So we'll be going in after dinner and leaving before breakfast.
Okay. Thank you. I was going to say that was one of my big questions, was open flame. Are we cooking? Are we doing anything like that? But you seem to have answered that.
Yeah.
I will say for other commission members, Jim, you may have, Lori, you may have been here long enough, but I know we have used the Boy Scouts have asked permission to do something similar in the past, and we did grant it. We saw it well within the purposes for use for these conservation properties, and good educational, good all along. So in the past, we did not have an issue with this. So I don't think I have an issue with this in this particular instance. But let me open it up. Commission members have comments, questions, thoughts?
No, sounds great.
Okay. Any members of the public here tonight to comment on this particular hearing? Again, not seeing any. All right. So, Monique, I'm probably going to open it up to a roll call vote. And I saw that you had your preferred date, and you had a couple of rain dates, and it looked like everything was in the month of September.
Yes.
All right. So, and I think we even have written here, we'll probably authorize it for one night within the month of September 2025. So that kind of gives you any of those 3 dates should work.
Thank you very much.
And if it needs to be August, please ask us. I'm guessing we would be fine with that. But
Okay.
all right. So I am going to call for a roll call vote of commissioner call for a roll call vote of commission members to authorize the Bolton Girl Scout Troop 64881 to spend one night camping on the Taggart land in September of 2025 to complete their trailblazing and primitive camper badges. All those in favor, please say aye, starting with Sue.
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Lori?
I'm an aye, but my only question is, are we taking out whatever we brought in? You have a bunch of girls, and we all know
No, yes,
for-
I did, I'm sorry, I did put
Waste-
that in the
waste
paperwork.
materials, What I'm
we-
asking.
We would follow leave no trace. We would be carrying in and carrying out. And we, not a single ounce of anything, not even toilet paper will leave.
Sweet, thank you very much. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you. I think it's wonderful.
Okay, thank you.
It's a very good question, Lori. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, Laura, you were an Lauren, I'm an I as well for allowing the Girl Scouts.
Okay, great, thank you.
It's everyone. All right. Yeah, thank
Thank-
you.
Thank
Good
you
luck.
very much. Have a great evening.
Yeah, enjoy the camping trip.
Thank you. Bye.
Right. Next up this evening, we had we've gone from Girl Scouts to Boy Scouts. We have discussion around possibly authorizing an Eagle Scout project to construct a kiosk at a trailhead off of Annie Moore Road. Lauren, is the Scout here with us this evening?
Yes, we have Kevin Wheeler here with us tonight.
Excellent. Kevin, do you want to walk us through quickly what you're proposing to do?
Yeah, so it would basically just be a small kiosk with a map and some guidelines for the Bolton conservation areas. And, so hold on, let me just share my screen here.
Please.
So ideally it would be pretty similar to the one that's already at the Bolton Woods Way trailhead here. So yeah, I would just be building that around the parking area on the side of Andy Moore Road. So just have maps and stuff in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that I was gonna say, do you have images of the location where it's going?
So I don't have any with me other than the one on the map here.
Yep.
But it would be either replacing this sign here or a bit further back on the trail.
Okay. And well, I can ask you, but I can ask Lauren too. This is conservation. But yeah, this is Concom property, not trust property or like any kind of private.
Correct.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay.
And Kevin, do you actually have the trail map that you could pull up on your screen just to show which trailhead you're looking to put this at?
Yeah, so it's on the side of Annie Moore Road right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And it looks like there's currently a post with basically it says parking and there's very little information on a post. Is the kiosk going to replace the post as part of it, removing the post and basically having the kiosk take its place at this point?
Yeah, so if that's hopefully that would be the case, but I'm not sure how far from the road that is, and I know it can't be 20 feet from the pavement without like
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yes. All right. I don't think again we've done projects like this with Eagle Scouts in the past. I think people have seen the kiosks we've had at other trailheads. They tend to work out well. I don't have it. I'm looking at the construction, what you have, materials, everything seems fine. Again, what we've approved in the past. So I don't think I have any additional questions. Let me open it up to members of the commission. Initial comments, questions, or thoughts from commission members? Comfortable with it in general? All right. Any members of the public here tonight to comment on this particular hearing? I'm not seeing any. All right. In that case, I'd like to call for a roll call vote of the commission to authorize the Eagle Scout project to construct a kiosk to replace the post at the trailhead off of Annie Moore Road as submitted and discussed at this evening's meeting. All those in favor of allowing this project, please say aye. And starting with Sue Mitra.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Lori.
Aye.
And Lauren, I'm an aye as well.
Great, thank you very much.
All right. Yeah, best of luck with the project, and we can't wait to see what it looks like when it's done. Really
Thank you.
appreciate what you guys have done to some of the trailheads. It's been great. All right, next up this evening, we have an interesting one. I'm not sure if you've read through your notes. It's a request for a certificate of compliance for Harvard Road, parcel 16 and 17, DEP file number 112-498. It was a COC was originally issued in 2013. The project's fine. They had completed the order of conditions. It was great. Issued the COC. Usually we'll issue it under the bylaw and under the Wetlands Protection Act. They go ahead, they file it. For whatever reason, it looks like everything was filed, but one of the two, the Wetlands Protection Act Order of Conditions book 35946, page 48, wasn't part of that certificate of compliance, or was missing in that certificate of compliance, was missing within that filing. So the people are looking just to close it out. It's kind of administrative at this point. DEP suggested that we basically just issue it for that specific order of condition book and page number rather than for that whole project again, basically just to close it out. I don't know if I've explained this well, but I'm hoping, and I'm sure if you can see it in the notes on the agenda, kind of what happened. So this would simply be an administrative move, really, to close out an old order of conditions that we did basically close out in 2013. The commission at that time, I was on it, was comfortable with issuing a certificate of compliance. We basically just issued it wrong. Questions, concerns, comments regarding that? Okay. In that case, I'm going to call for a vote. I'm going to make a motion that the Bolton Conservation Commission issue a certificate of compliance for Harvard Road, parcels 16 and 17, DEP file number 112-498 for the Wetlands Protection Act Order of Conditions, book 35946, page 48. All those in favor of issuing this, please say aye, starting with Sue.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Lori.
Aye.
And Lauren, I'm an aye as well.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Now for our favorite one. Discussion around cicada killer wasps at Bowers Springs. Lauren, could you possibly pull up the picture of the cordoned off area where they kind of have the do not go tape, or, well.
Sure. Yep, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I'm probably going to ask you to pull up another picture in a minute.
Okay.
So I don't know if people have read from their agenda, but it's so at Bowers Springs, near the parking area, there are some of these cicada killer wasps at Bowers Springs. They are, if provoked, they can kind of go at people. Generally speaking, if they're left alone, they will not bother anybody. It's only when you get closer, really try to interact with them. They're not territorial in protecting their hives. It's more when you get in there. It's not just you walking by. I know people have had concerns with them. They've kind of cordoned off I want to say DPW cordoned off the area to let people know, don't go here, stay away from them. Lauren was good speaking with DPW, trying to figure out how we can deal with this problem. It's basically not a one-off thing. It's one of those things where they could call an exterminator to come in and get them. But if they were to bring in an exterminator now, we'd basically have to close Tom Denny Nature Camp for a few days and maybe shut the trail down for a couple of days, which I personally would really like to try to avoid shutting down Tom Denny Nature Camp. There was another way where the DPW could try filling it with a diatomaceous clay or earth and tarping it over. They would have to go at night. There was a whole process that they could try, but there was no guarantee that would work, and everything might still be an issue. Lauren, could you pull up the sign that the that has been, we've used on other conservation properties. I think the trail committee created this one.
Sure.
Okay. Basically, this is a sign we've put up other places, letting people know that these are here, what they are. It's basically educational and just basically tells them just stay away. If you don't provoke them, they'll basically will leave you alone. Again, not the most convenient area. You can see it's right off the parking area now. So in my little head, and I'm curious what others think, I thought possibly the best way to handle this right now would be to keep that area cordoned off the way it is, where there's something going around it, and then add the additional layer of putting up informational signage so people understand why it's cordoned off, you know, that these aren't a threat, they just really need to be avoided. And to go that route for now, if it doesn't help with the problem, if there are real issues and people getting stung or, you know, people not really paying attention to it, we might want to go the route of calling an exterminator. But again, there will be a cost to that. And I would almost wait until camp's done. Like, let's let Tom Denny Nature Camp finish. And in, you know, in the next couple of weeks, if the signage and the cordoning off isn't doing the trick, then we can talk about an exterminator. It's kind of the way I would think to approach it right now, but I'm more than happy to hear other views, other thoughts. Is that enough right now? Something else we should be doing?
How many signs are we putting up?
It's a good question.
Because it's a big area.
As I say, at least one. Lauren, how big of an area is it about?
Oh,
It's hard to
to
say.
be honest, I am not the best
Yeah, I
at
got you.
estimating that.
I went through there today and it looked like there was maybe 3 or 4 car lengths. of
Okay.
space
That
there.
sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another question that I was actually going to ask too is, are folks okay with just posting these flyers in the kiosk that's down here, or would you like it, you know, maybe on a post that's closer to the area? Would you want to do that?
I mean, I
You know,
would
sort of
think,
like a stapled on a stake or something like that.
yeah, I would think like 3 of those in front of the cordoned off area facing the parking lot, maybe 2 facing the other way, because I mean, to put it simply, people are stupid and they don't read.
It's a fair point. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think that's the official way of
No,
saying it,
but
but
yeah,
you know what I
really.
mean.
That's
We
what I was
try to make
thinking
it-
too. I think if it's only in the kiosk, it may not,
Mm-mm.
you know, people might pass by it and might not notice it. So it might be
Mhm.
better if we just kind of, you know, make it a little bit more obvious for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and Sue had another good point where, you know, having a couple that face the parking lot and have a couple that face the field.
The more
Either
signs,
one on either side, depending on how they're coming up to it.
the more signs, the better. It only protects the town. People
Yeah.
don't need signs,
Sure.
but as long as the signs are posted, you know, the town should be covered. It's,
Yeah,
Mhm.
totally.
and I totally agree with Sue. The more signs, the better.
So do we think maybe 3 going along this side and 3 going along this side? You know, and
Yeah.
each end and in the middle? Or is that too much?
I think
I
that's
think-
fine.
Or 2
think
and
it-
2?
I think it is. I mean, yeah, or 3 and 2. I think it's fine with either. I think again, multiple is probably good. 3 is probably better, right? Even if it's 3 facing the parking lot and 2 facing the field, and then also 1 in the kiosk.
Oh, right. We could do that too.
Does that seem to make sense? And
Yeah.
again, hopefully it's only temporary. This is something that clears up over time, and we're removing this. But for now, at least it should make it pretty much clear to everybody, and hopefully that takes care of the situation. Like you say, at least until camp is done, and then if we need to do something more, we go from there.
I would assume notifying all the camp directors that this is there prior to them attending.
Mm.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, I can reach out to Ellie, who runs the camp, and just let her know that we're planning on posting.
Right. Lauren, is this something that we need to vote on, or is this just fine with discussion?
I think it would be beneficial to at least take a vote just to give the okay that we're posting these signs.
Yep.
Yeah, so if we can do that, that would be good.
All right. So if we do 3, 2, 1, the kiosk, that's 6, maybe 7. So I'm probably going to say 5 to 8 signs. Because again, if you can get up 5 or 6, great. If it's overkill and you only want to go with 4, that's fine. If 8's better, that's great. So it'd be 5 to 8 signs. Bower Springs. Information. All right. I'm going to call for a roll call vote of commission members to authorize the land use administrative assistant to install between 5 to 8 informational signs at Bower Springs Conservation Area, informing people of the cicada killer wasps, where they're located, and actions to take or not to take in their general vicinity. All those in favor, please say aye, starting with Sue.
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Lori,
Aye.
and Lauren, I'm an aye as well.
Okay, thank you.
And I was going to say, I didn't mention it in there, but Lauren, to Lori's point, like mentioning it to the camp counselors would be a great idea if you can reach out to her. And
Sure.
just say, "This is
Yeah, I'll
what this
definitely
is."
do that.
Please don't. Yeah, I did not expect cicada killer wasps to be on the agenda tonight. That was a fun and exciting one. Which brings me to we do still have one open spot on the Bolton Conservation Commission, so you too can learn about cicada killer wasp issues here in town. Always appreciated. That's what I had. Minutes. In our packet are the minutes from the July 22nd, 2025 meeting. Any commission members have any edits, changes, or corrections to those minutes? And if not, do any commission members need more time to read through those minutes? None. Going to make a motion that we approve the minutes for our July 22nd, 2025 meeting as drafted and submitted at this evening's meeting. Do I hear a second for minutes?
Second.
All those in favor, starting with Sue.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Lori.
Aye.
And Lauren, I'm an aye as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have no updates on enforcement orders. I'm a fountain of nothingness. I have no updates on enforcement orders. There's no current updates on the Forest Legacy program. As far as I know, trail maintenance projects are still ongoing, but no major updates there. Our volunteer land steward position is still available. And again, we still do have one open seat on the Conservation Commission, your home for killer wasp cicada conversations. I don't see anything else on the agenda. Lauren, is there anything else I have missed?
No, we covered it all.
Excellent. All right. Commission members have any new business or anything they would like to see added to our next agenda, or anything they just want to get off their chest? Seeing none. All right. I will hereby make a motion for us to adjourn our Tuesday, August 5th, 2025 meeting of the Bolton Conservation Commission. Do I hear a second for adjourning?
Second.
All those in favor, starting with Sue.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Lori.
Aye.
And Lauren, I'm an aye as well.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yeah, thank you
Aye.
all. See you in 2 weeks.
Good
Take care.
evening.
Okay.
Take
Good night.
care. Good night.
Yeah.